Hello, in this present video I am going to discuss about how to do the valuation of a larger area plot, for example maybe 1 acre, 2 acre or more than that. So we are going to see the basics of it and also some of the examples, how to do it, what are the mistakes that the valuers are doing it, because of which why the banks are facing some problems for the report given by the evaluators. Okay, so we'll just understand what is the larger area plots, how it has been categorized, how the development activities will be taken place, what are the common areas and what are the development areas that can be taken into considerations for the valuation. So now we'll see the valuation of the larger area plots. Okay, so generally the larger area plots are converted into two purposes. One is the industrial purposes, another one is residential or commercial purpose. So for industrial purpose, generally we all know as these are all called as industrial layout, wherein different industries are going to set up, maybe plywood industry, tile manufacturing or paint manufacturing, lot of things, maybe include cement also. So these areas generally will have the basic amenities like roads, water, water storage facilities, electrical powerhouses, and all those things. But when it comes to residential or commercial, or we can call it as residential and commercial, it will give a more meaning. Okay, I'll tell how they're going to do it. So when it comes to residential and commercial, here generally the developmental activities will take place as roads and drains, then civic communities, park and usable area. I'm going to show that one in the this one. So here the roads and drains are occupying 30 to 35% of the total area. Civic communities are like schools, colleges, hospitals, or temple, mosque, church, whatever it is with respect to the public. So they are with, we have to leave a space of 5% in the total area for these kind of activities and 10% for the park, that is for the natural, to develop the different natural activities like developing a walking area, walking path for the layout people, or developing a small children's play area when a lot of trees are grown, all those things. So the park 10% of the area is left are given for it, and the residential site maximum 55%, that is 50 to 55% of the total area are used for residential and commercial sites. So how they are going to do it? If I am having 100% area, 30 to 35% are given it for roads and drains, 5% for civic communities, 10% for the park, and another 50 to 55% for the residential and commercial sites. The sites which are located very near to the main roads or the highways or converted to commercial sites, which are having value of the site approximately 30 to 40% more than the residential value. For example, if I am having the value of the residential plot as 1000 rupees per square feet, the commercial site will be having anywhere in between 1300 to 1400 rupees per square feet. So it depends upon how the location of the property is. Accordingly, they are going to divide residential and commercial. In most of the cases, if the location is very, what do you call, remote kind of thing, so generally commercial sites they are not going to do it. 100% residential sites they are going to do it. So when we are taking it for the valuation, okay, only this 55% area we have to consider, not the remaining portions, because roads and drains, civic communities and the park will be having certain value, but not the value which we can take it into consideration when we are doing the valuation, because we cannot sell the roads and drains, we cannot sell the civic communities areas, or we cannot sell the park. These areas are actually having the authority of the government people. Okay, so for example, if I take Bangalore, BBMP is there. If I take Chikmagalur, CDA or Nagarasabha is there. So we have to give, or we have to authorize these people, and we have to write, like we are actually giving the authorization of all these areas for those people. So by the end of the day, what exactly we are understanding here is, out of 100%, only the 55% or up to 55% are the area which are usable and which are having the value. So this, as a valuator, we should understand, because when I was doing this, I'm going to show you that example. and we are going to see a report now. When I was doing the revaluation of it, revaluation means already a valuer has done this property valuation, but when I was doing the valuation of it, he has done a very huge mistake, very big mistake, by considering 100% of the area. Okay, that should not happen. So this is the residential area and type of the larger area. Then the valuation consideration, as I already told, that maximum 50%, 5% of the area we have to consider. That is called as the development area, which is having the value for resale in future days. So we can resale it. Okay, so that is called as the valuation consideration we are doing. So problems happened in the previous valuation is the valuer has considered the complete 100% area of the valuation, which is not correct. That is, for example, if the total area is 40,000 square feet, okay, so if the value is 100 rupees, so it will become 40 lakh rupees. So if I consider it as a total lump sum, that 40 lakh rupees for that 40,000 square feet, what is happening there is he is not leaving the roads, civic communities, or the park area. He is considering all as a whole, and he is actually giving value for each and every one, each and every part of the layout, so that we can resell everything tomorrow. That is not the case. Okay, so here what exactly is happening is, out of that 100%, only 55%, that is 4,000. If I am having 40,000 square feet, so 40.55% if I consider, only 22,000 square feet I can valuate it. That is 22,000 square feet into, if I take 100, only 22 lakh rupees is the value of that particular area. Okay, so if I take it as an 100%, so that is not correct, which should not happen. So for example, if I have taken it as 100% and if I give it the same property and the same valuation report to the bank, what will happen tomorrow? For example, if the bank has already allotted the loan to that person who has given that property, considering that 44 lakh rupees, that is 100% of the area can be resale tomorrow. So if they have given the loan of 28 to 30 lakh rupees for that person, considering 60 to 80% of the total area of the total value of the property can be given as the loan. Tomorrow, if the person doesn't repay that amount, if the property comes to an action, actual value of the property is 22 lakh rupees, how can the bank people will get 28 lakh rupees? So this, as a valuer, we should have the knowledge of all these basic things before valuating a very bigger properties. Okay, when it comes to an industrial property, it is totally a different scenario. I'll come up with a different video for that industrial scenario, how to do the valuation of an industrial property. So accordingly, we have to give that value to the bank. So without and developments observed on site also, the value taken was more than 50% the market value, which is in turn gives a very higher price. That is what I was telling is that previous valuer has taken a very higher value, that is he has considered all the 100% of that area, which is not correct. Now we'll just see an example of this. This is a property which I recently valued for a person. Okay, due to some restrictions, I cannot tell the name of the person or the owner of the property, because this is a very huge property and the value is also very high. So the Mr. Girish Dodamani, ABM Karnataka Bank, IG Road person has accompanied me to get the valuation done on the site. This has been done on 15/6/2020. So it is a vacant site, complete total vacant land. You can see here it's a total vacant land in the just next to this. Okay, so the total area was almost like 2,88,585 square feet, out of which I have taken only 52%. That is, in between 50 to 55 we can take any value. So I have taken 52% of the total area, that is 1,50,064 square feet area. So another 58% are areas directed for park, civic communities and the roads. The previous for this is a revaluation report. You can see a revaluation report. The valuation report what has been given to the bank previously to this report was the person has taken the complete area, that is 2,88,585 square feet. If I taken this, it is a huge mistake what as a valuer I am doing it. So I'm going to see the check the boundary of the property, what is on the north, what is on the south, what is on the east and what is on the west. This property was located in a very prime locality in the highway. Okay, so therefore we have increased the value of the price of the plot also. It's a vacant plot. person was holding this plot from 2005, that is almost 15 years, more than 15 years. So it's a vacant site. Yes, see here. Actually the conversion has been taken place as residential, not as industrial or commercial. Therefore, we have written down here as yes, it has been converted as a residential property. It is a vacant site, nothing development, nothing has been done. Even the roads, nothing was developed in that particular locality. That in the particular plot, we have assumed it as 58%. Tomorrow, if I am going to develop it as a residential locality, tomorrow I am going to consider it as a 58% is dedicated for roads, civic communities and park. Okay. So the value as per the government rate, it is 185 rupees per square feet, but we have increased it to 483. That is almost 20% more than the double the value. That is, if I take double the value, it is 370 rupees. So I have taken 483 rupees. The value is coming around 7,25,000. If I have done the same for 2,88,000 square feet, considering 100% of the area and 483 rupees, the value is almost 13 crore rupees, which is double this value. So if considering that 100% value has been given it to the bank by mistake, and the bank people have considered it, and if they have given 70% of that value also 9 crore rupees, which is almost 2 crore to 1.75 crore rupees more than this actual value. Okay, so what will happen at that time? The bank has given more money, or here they have lended more money compared to the actual valuation of that particular property. So tomorrow, if the person doesn't return that money back to the bank, it is very difficult to auction that property. The complete responsibility has to be held by the valuator. Okay, so becoming a valuator is not easy. Handling that responsibility is very, very difficult. We have to understand these scenarios. There is something called as forced sale value. Forced sale value means if due to some circumstances, if the person cannot pay the money, so this is the maximum value the bank has to consider. That is, this is the value of the property, 7 crore 25 lakh rupees. Still, we are going to reduce 10% out of that amount. So 6 crore 52 lakh is the value. So 652 into 80% if the bank is giving. So the bank is eligible to give only 5 crore rupees for the client. So the bank will be in the safer hands if tomorrow client doesn't pay the money also. So the bank can sell the property minimum of the minimum of 6.5 crore rupees, 1.5 crore rupees more than what exactly the bank has given it to the client. I think you people are getting what exactly I'm telling it here. Okay. So you can see here I have just put a note here as the property is located in a prime area very next to a well-developed industry and very near to Kadur Mangalore highway. Okay, which is a very, it's a booming area now, which is getting expanded to 4 lane. Revaluation amount has been increased about 20% of the previous valuation. That is, previous valuator has taken 483 rupees. I have increased, sorry, 370 rupees. I have increased it by 20% more than that value. So this is how we have to evaluate the bigger plots. In the next video, I am coming up with a concept called land locked properties. What is the importance of for the bank? Okay, whether the bank is eligible to give loan for land locked properties. What exactly is land locked properties? All those things we'll see it in the next video. Thank you.